both with excellent defenses, offenses, speed, punching power, both undefeated, both with belts. It would be a unification fight. It almost never happens. Almost never. In a 50-50 fight?
Period. That is the fight everyone should want. That is the #1 desirable fight in all of combat sport. There is no other fight that anyone should want more.
They're meeting at a great time, and whoever wins this fight should be the supreme 154-pounder right now.
Is this a fight that you dare to say is a 50-50 fight?
Yeah, it gives a 50-50 fight. I give it more, it's 50-50 in a sense, but because of experience, you can go 60-40, 60 with Boots, 40 with Xander, but it kind of is a 50-50 fight.
Max Kellerman joined Stephen A. Smith to offer a bold prediction for the highly anticipated clash between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas, pushing back against the popular belief that Ennis will dominate the fight. Kellerman believes Zayas has the accuracy, ring intelligence, and composure necessary to surprise the boxing world and make this matchup far more competitive than many expect.
Hey, Boots is this future superstar. He beat this guy and that guy and that guy. Meantime, when you actually make the fights, and it's like, oh, he's really going to fight that guy? Is he going to win? Where are you with this?
Where I am, Max, is that I want to give a lot of credit to Xander Zayas. You know, Xander Zayas, young guy, he wanted this fight. He called for the fight, and he made it happen quick after the Virgil Ortiz-Boots fight fell apart. So fair play to Xander. He has a lot of confidence in himself, even though he's going to be the underdog. And you're right, Boots hasn't proven anything yet. Not his fault, but he hasn't fought anyone. He looks special. Now we're going to fight.
Meanwhile, Stephen A. Smith suggested that Xander Zayas is a unique talent who has not received the level of recognition he deserves. He believes Zayas has all the tools required to compete at the highest level and could potentially pull off a major upset against Boots Ennis.
Is special, and we need to recognize that, and he deserves to be seen.
Max Kellerman also emphasized that Xander Zayas has willingly taken a huge risk by agreeing to face Jaron Ennis, putting both his championship status and growing reputation on the line against what many consider the toughest challenge available. In Kellerman's view, it is the kind of decision that could ultimately shape the direction of Zayas' entire career.
Right, you got to give him props is when you have a built-in fan base. In other words, it's not just that you're of a certain ethnic or national group, but you're undefeated. You've been groomed and promoted as maybe the future star that group's fan base will follow. You're risking a lot because you have a built-in economic engine behind you. And when you're a guy who can be put in a position to pick and choose, and you choose Boots, Gabe, what does that say?
Absolutely. This is a fight he definitely didn't have to take, man. You know, he's a 2-division champion right now. And for him to choose the toughest guy on paper right now, I mean, skill-wise, Boots, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. He could have went a different route. But
Roy Jones Jr. praised Xander Zayas as a complete and extremely versatile fighter, highlighting his long frame, ability to fight effectively at both long and close range, and his sharp attack to the body. He also pointed to Zayas' maturity beyond his years, describing him as one of the most polished and difficult fighters to deal with in the division.
Very good fighter, a complete fighter, a fighter who I think presents next to the most, he's probably the second most difficult guy to fight in the weight class because he's rangy. He can do so many things. He can fight inside. He can fight outside. He's a great body puncher. He's a very, very respected guy, and I think he's very mature for his age. Boots, on the other hand, is looking for that coming out party type fight. So he got to fight somebody at this point. And because he couldn't get A, he went to B. And I like that about Boots because Boots saying, I want all the smoke. If this one won't take me, I'll go find the next one. And so since he couldn't make the fight with Ortiz, he made the fight with Xander. This is what you want to see. This is a barn burner, I think. May the best man win, but both of these guys are capable of becoming the biggest threat to Fundura in the weight class because right now, Fundura is still...
Jones Jr. also stated that although many fans were hoping to see a showdown between Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, he believes the matchup between Ennis and Xander Zayas may actually be even more fascinating due to the unique styles and questions both fighters bring into the ring.
I really wanted to see Boots tested by another fighter beforehand. I wanted to see him fight Virgil Ortiz first because those...
At 54?
Yes, because those two guys were kind of on a collision course. However, I think Golden Boy and Virgil Ortiz had some issues. So now Boots went to the next best thing, which is even better than Virgil Ortiz.
Trainer Robert Garcia also spoke highly of Xander Zayas, describing him as a talented and self-assured young fighter who is willingly stepping into a very dangerous challenge against Jaron Ennis. Garcia praised Zayas for taking on such a difficult test at a young age and believes his confidence, mindset, and positive attitude give him a legitimate chance to succeed in the fight.
Very good consolation prize to get if we're not getting Virgil versus either of them. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Look, it's a great fight, and Boots getting those challenges out there. Xander deciding to fight Boots on a very dangerous, challenging fight for himself. You know, you gotta respect, that decision. If the Virgil fight didn't happen, and then Virgil versus Boots is not happening, and Xander stepping in, gotta respect that kid, for being 23 and taking those challenges. You gotta respect that, my pick, I would probably say, goes to Boots because talent-wise. But, Xander is positive about himself, man. He sounds very confident. I talked to him.
On the other hand, many analysts believe Xander Zayas still shows certain predictable habits in the ring, particularly a tendency to lean to his left when launching attacks. They argue this could leave him vulnerable to short right hands and well-timed counters, an area Jaron Ennis may be able to exploit effectively. While Zayas possesses solid movement and maintains a good work rate, critics also point out that he has yet to demonstrate truly elite knockout power and has been caught cleanly by opponents who are considered less dangerous punchers.
You watch the tape of Xander Zayas,
Right.
and you kind of touched on that. He gets himself in certain spots where he doesn't throw punches. Go ahead and elaborate.
So when he's in the middle, so when he's on the center line, he might throw punches, but there's no power behind him. And if he's sitting on his right hand, same thing. He throws punches, quick shots, but those aren't the really dangerous shots. When he's trying to exchange and he wants to hurt you, you'll see his head go off center to the left over and over again. So he peaks, sort of like, I remember Salvador Sanchez used to hit you with those Jones, but then he'll peek over. So he'll peek over, throw a quick right hand, or he'll peek over, and if you freeze, or if he catch the right look that he's looking for, he's shooting a left hook or left hand to the body or left hand to the head almost every time. You know what I mean? And he throw with weight and with power. That's what he does to try to hurt his opponents, right? But that gets him caught because that's his rhythm. Every time he was there against Sparmer was hitting him with short right hands and was just timing his move. Like whenever he would peek over here, that short right hand was coming almost every time, and Sparmer was catching him right on the chin with those. And then when he's pulling back out of that, he's catching him with hooks. So he was short right hands, left hooks almost all day. It's just that Sparmer was a smaller guy, couldn't really hurt him, but he was hitting him. And that's what I pay attention to, is like, Boots is fast enough and athletic enough to still catch you in those positions, but it's not like you're fighting a smaller guy. Boots can hurt you if you get...
Terence Crawford stated that he believes this fight may be arriving a little too early in Xander Zayas' career. While praising Zayas for his talent, confidence, and overall potential, Crawford stressed that experience becomes increasingly important at the highest levels of the sport. In his view, patience is often necessary before taking on elite opponents, suggesting that a challenge as difficult as Jaron Ennis may be coming sooner than ideal.
Especially for Xander at this point in his career, but it shows his heart and his confidence, that he has in himself. And he's ready to go make history for his country. And he's going to do real well in that fight. I just think, right now, is a little bit too...
Jaron Ennis showed complete confidence ahead of the official announcement of his fight with Xander Zayas, boldly declaring, "I'm the biggest name at 154. He stated that he intends to take over the division and believes no other fighter combines excitement, skill, and star power the way he does. Ennis also made it clear that he views this matchup as only the first step in what he expects to be a dominant run at super welterweight.
I'm feeling great, man. About to be a two-time weight division unified champ. Man, I'm snapping my legacy, man. It's only up, man. I'm about to show the world I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna continue to keep showing the world I'm the best in the world. Like this boxing game mine, straight like that.
Now, a great deal of attention is currently centered on Jaron Ennis, and that level of spotlight may have further strengthened his confidence heading into the fight with Xander Zayas. With many fans, analysts, and fighters backing him to win, Ennis appears to be entering the matchup believing more than ever in his abilities and position within the division.
The questions that Boots was asking. So it was really one way. So like I said, both of the guys seem to be kind of, I wouldn't say soft-spoken, but they seem respectful. Bootsy always been kind of chill. I seen Xander being kind of chill. I could see, Xander putting a chip on his back because everybody counting him out. I could see him having a chip on his shoulder because everybody's counting him out. Everybody's just, so high on Boots. So I could see that fueling him. But as far as, Boots getting all tough with him, I don't understand that. I don't, he's the golden child. I don't understand what he got to feel like he got to do. I think his role is to just stay quiet and handle his business with his.
Veteran trainer coach Reggie delivered a strong warning regarding Xander Zayas. While acknowledging the young fighter's talent and potential, he emphasized that Zayas is still relatively young and lacks the experience that often comes from competing in elite-level battles. Reggie praised him as an outstanding prospect, but cautioned that facing a top opponent like Jaron Ennis at this stage could expose areas of his game that still require further development and refinement.
I like Xander. I just think that Xander don't know enough. Yeah, take a fight like this. I mean, granted, you get in this game, you in this game to be the best. But I don't think he's ready for a fight like this. I mean, Xander's good, he can fight, but he's still a kid, still a baby, still in learning stages right now.
A unified champion, though, right?
He is.
Big kid. Seemed like he's getting better each and every fight.
And I agree, but boots in careers, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, are they going to pay him enough? You know what I'm saying? Are they going to pay him enough? Because I'm sure after they fight, he's not.
Respected boxing journalist Mike Coppinger believes that accepting a fight against Jaron Ennis is a smart business decision for Xander Zayas, even though he enters the contest as the underdog. Coppinger argues that sharing the ring with a proven star like Ennis significantly increases Zayas' visibility and value within the sport. Even if the odds are not in his favor, he believes the opportunity could provide major financial benefits while enhancing Zayas' reputation among fans, promoters, and television networks. By choosing to face a dangerous opponent rather than taking an easier route, Zayas demonstrates ambition and a willingness to test himself at the highest level, a decision that could play a major role in shaping his long-term career and standing in boxing.
He's an incredible athlete, he has a great jab, he can box, he's in good fights, he has power. But Xander Zayas at 23 is definitely an improving fighter, and like you said, Gabe, he's an economic engine, right? He could be fighting in Puerto Rico, he just sold out. In January, he can fight in New York. He's going to probably have the bigger fan support here. And I think this is a great business move for Xander, too. He's going to get a career-high payday. And like you said, 190 he walks around at. He hasn't had much more time at 154.
Yeah. And also, I'm thinking about is if you really watch Boots does look special all the time. But there's cases where he gets hit a lot. And you're like, man, for you to be so good and so special, why are you getting hit from some of these lower-class fighters? So Xander might have seen that. So you know what? Yeah, I know Boots is special. I know he's really, really good, etc. But I see things in his game.
Boots Ennis is widely regarded as one of the elite fighters at 154 pounds, carrying the reputation of a highly skilled and proven competitor. Xander Zayas, meanwhile, caught many observers off guard, including some within his own circle, by aggressively pursuing this dangerous matchup instead of opting for a safer and more conventional title defense. During the face-off, both men displayed plenty of confidence and exchanged sharp words, creating an intense atmosphere ahead of the fight. Zayas, despite being only 23 years old and still growing into his championship years, appeared calm and composed under the spotlight. Even so, Ennis' superior experience, ring maturity, and success against top-level opposition remain significant advantages heading into the contest.
In the world, Xander Zayas, who even people on his own side wondered why he was pushing for this fight. Even his trainer needed an explanation from him before he signed off on him taking this fight. His promoter, who admitted on the dais that his plan for Xander was to put him in MSG, put him in Puerto Rico, do a nice title defense. This was all Xander Zayas. But Xander on that stage continues to look like, act like, sound like a guy that firmly believes that he is the better fighter in this matchup. What were your takeaways from watching Boots and Xander face-to-face for the first time?
It was a fun press conference because Boots was really confident, confidence. He was brimming with confidence. And normally you see Boots more, more chill with a little bit more swagger. He's a little bit more, soft with his comebacks. But no, he was brimming with confidence. And him and Zayas were going back and forth. And I think Zayas handled it perfectly. For a 23-year-old champion who hasn't really been against the best, he's facing somebody that's potentially pound for pound one of the best. And Zayas handled it. He handled it with flying colors, man. And I think Boots better respect what he has in front of him. Even though the measurements stay the same, I saw a bigger, younger fighter motivated.
Both fighters possess defensive vulnerabilities, though they tend to appear in different ways. Ennis can be caught clean when he fully commits to offense, as his aggressive attacks sometimes create openings for counters. Zayas, meanwhile, is still refining the defensive side of his game and can be exposed by positioning mistakes and youthful lapses, particularly against opponents who time their punches well. Because of this, many analysts believe Ennis holds the advantage in overall skill, natural talent, and experience against higher caliber competition, which is why Zayas enters as the underdog despite being a unified champion. From a tactical standpoint, Zayas is expected to apply pressure and attempt to force Ennis backward. However, Ennis is an excellent counterpuncher and remains highly comfortable fighting off the back foot, a style that could help him neutralize the pressure and dictate the pace of the fight.
Is not careful and is a little bit too much overconfident, then this is a type of fight where he can be exposed. There was something both of them were going on saying they both get hit. Yes, they do, but Boots gets hit being offensive. Zayas gets hit, being a little bit pulling his head back, rookie mistakes. And I think a fighter like Boots can capitalize on that. And Zayas better be on his P's and Q's. He better have that sharp technique because he's dealing with a more confident, maybe overconfident, but more skilled and naturally gifted fighter in Boots. And that's the reason that the unified champion is the underdog in Zayas.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder what Zayas' game plan is going to be, because his team, I think, is going to want him to try to push Boots back. And you saw some of the things that Xander said. He said he felt that Boots has been a weight bully for most of his career. So that and some conversations that I had with people around him told me that they want to be a more offensive-oriented fighter. When guys come at Jaron Ennis, he is an excellent counterpuncher. He's excellent fighting, going backwards. He kind of eats up that style. Now, maybe Xander and his team can say he's never done that against a guy on my level. That's probably true. I mean, look, Stanionis is a really good fighter. Boots carved him up. Lima, certainly not on Xander's level. But
Hall of Fame great Winky Wright stated that fighters only achieve true greatness by defeating great opponents, and he believes the matchup between Xander Zayas and Jaron Ennis represents exactly that type of elite challenge. According to Wright, both fighters are stepping into a defining moment where skill, discipline, preparation, and courage will be tested at the highest level. He emphasized that fights of this magnitude do far more than entertain fans. They shape careers, build legacies, and force competitors to prove themselves against top opposition in order to earn genuine respect and lasting greatness in the sport.
Also, the triangle that I like to call Virgil Ortiz, Xander, and Boots. Right now, it looks like Xander and Boots are going to fight. What are your thoughts on that fight?
It's going to be a good fight, man. The division looking good right now, and I just want to see all the fighters fight each other, man. The best need to fight the best. That's what's going to bring the fans to boxing. And, you can only be great by beating somebody great. You know what I'm saying? You can have a bunch of wins with no great win. You're just a good fighter, but you want to be great, you need to beat another great fighter.
Sean Porter shared his thoughts on Jaron "Boots" Ennis, describing him as a special talent and a fighter capable of producing electrifying performances whenever given the opportunity. Porter believes Ennis has not yet had the ideal stage to fully demonstrate how great he can be. He pointed to the June 27th showdown with Xander Zayas as the perfect opportunity for Boots to showcase his abilities. Porter expects both men to bring out the best in each other and stressed that this will not be a one-sided contest, but rather a fight where the better man earns the victory. He added that while fans on either side may disagree, the matchup is genuinely competitive. Although he views Ennis as an exceptional talent, he also believes Zayas' confidence, discipline, and skill make him a legitimate threat.
If this is what a phenom looks like, then what the hell is Boots Ennis?
Yeah.
And I was like, so that's where calling him the amazing Boots Ennis comes from. The dude is electricity waiting to shock you.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't had the opportunities to shock, right? So He's got Xander coming up here pretty soon. That fight's in June or May?
June 27th.
That fight's at the
Brooklyn.
end of June. And I think that we will see an amazing Boots Ennis against a superb Xander Zayas. And I think the best man will win that fight. I don't think that that's a one-sided fight either way. If you're from Philly, you don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? If you're Puerto Rican, you don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? But it's a great matchup. But I just wanted to answer to that real quick. I just from what I was exposed to over the weekend, and that just has been in my mind. So when I came to Boots, it was like, if you call in everybody else phenoms and stuff like that, then we just gonna have to call him the amazing.
Do you think Boots Ennis' power, athleticism, and explosiveness will ultimately take control of the fight? Or can Xander Zayas use his skill, composure, and maturity to pull off a major upset? Share your prediction in the comments below.